Welcome to It Tastes Different Appetizers Gaming News. Tonight we're going to discuss FIFA without FIFA. Article Polygon says EA is considering a sports name change to their soccer title. Because it's starting to get a little greedy out there. So let's fire this off with let's go to Nick because he's a passionate EA lover and I believe he's a stockholder. And let's go with Nick. Nick, what do you think about EA taking away the FIFA name in their soccer series and going with something new like EA? Just give me some damn money. You can kick the ball.
Right. Well, the I think it's the Players League, right? Or the people that have the FIFA themselves, I guess, in this case, are wanting to increase the licensing fee. Right now, EA pays $150 million a year, I believe, and then so they want to double that basically, so $300 million a year. And so EA is saying, "I'm going to take my soccer ball and go home." You know, they've decided, they got enough. I guess at this point they have a big foothold into the whole soccer gaming genre that, if they went off and just made their own soccer game in-house and, continue to sell you loot boxes, then, hey, you'll be all happy for it because you won't know the difference, right? They'll pull the old switcheroo on you. So, it makes sense for EA, especially, like I said, they do have that foothold. So it does make sense for the company to say, you know what, I'm not paying that. Goodbye. Thanks for the long time we had together, but we're going to make our own game and go off on their own, So, EA said, you want that licensing fee? It's in the loot box. So FIFA's got to pay for packs to find that licensing fee, but they'll never find it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Pat?
Yeah, I mean, the article in the New York Times has a lot of information there that I didn't actually know half as much what happens with licensing fees is what's going on in here. From what I read, there's like a couple of things going on. Like EA is basically planning for contingency. Like I think they're changing the name to like EA Sports FCs for like football club, so they don't have to use the FIFA name and. And yeah, they're asking for that. So basically, I think they signed like 4-year deals or whatever, or something like that. So, or 10-year deals, I think is what it was. So that's coming to an end, and now they can't come to an agreement on money and a few other things. From what I understand, EA only pays them like only pays them for like 3 licenses: the use of the World Cup logo, name, and the actual trophy type stuff. And that's a lot of money to pay for those, and it's exclusive contract, I should say. From what I read, EA pays almost like 300 other licenses for soccer alone. I'm assuming it's to the individual clubs because unlike their football game, they only pay 2 licensing fees, one to the players union and the other one to the NFL. So every club, I guess, over there operates independently and they're not a unionized thing like they are over here. But I learned all kinds of crap I didn't know about licensing with this whole thing that they're coming down. But I mean, $150 million a year just for exclusive rights to the FIFA name, the logo, the cup, all that kind of crap. I'm like, that's insane. And now they're talking about wanting to break the deal because they want more money. They want twice as much money. I don't know if they think that they're going to go out to like Epic and all these other places and offer them non-exclusive deals, because that's what they're trying to do from what I read in the article. They're trying to get non-exclusive deals so they can broaden how much money they're bringing in. But you're losing $150 million for an exclusive deal. I guarantee you the companies out there making sports games aren't going to get you more than what you're getting now. Maybe you might get near that, but you're going to have to work with 6 or 8 different companies rather than one that you're doing it now. I'm not a EA fan, but I'm also thinking of this as a money thing. And in my opinion, FIFA is going to lose out on this deal because I read in the article, too, that Gianni Infantino, who is like the president of FIFA, said they have a plan of $2 billion plan to expand the World Cup for clubs and get new trophies and stuff. And I'm like, you're about to lose $150 million a year. You're going to be able to do that $2 billion thing. And I guess this is actually part of that. It's cutting into that plan that they have. So I'm not an EA fan. but it sounds like FIFA's about to shoot themselves in the foot, or basically shoot themselves in the nose, spite their face. I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea. I'm not a FIFA fan. I'm not a soccer fan. I'm also not an EA fan, so I don't play a lot of sports games. So this really doesn't hurt me much, but it's just interesting to see how the licensing works and all these. EA has to run 300 different licensing agreements just to be able to have soccer and all the players, only 2 for the NFL. So what do you think, Shane? What do you think about this? I know that you're EA's biggest fan there ever was, and you can't wait. You buy $100 worth of loot boxes a day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, give me the loot box. Nope, you're right. FIFA's shooting themselves in the balls there, the soccer balls anyway. I'm not a billionaire businessman, so I'm going to look at this from Joe Schmo point of view. Hell no. That is a lot of damn money just for a name. A name. There's 2 soccer games in the world. EA's FIFA series, and then you have Konami's PES, Pro Evolution Soccer, I believe it's called. And I don't know what all is going on with Konami, but I know FIFA's only chance to keep the series alive with a well-known series is going to be with Konami. I mean, I don't play them, and I know they, Konami has theirs, but it's not FIFA. It's not, EA FIFA, excuse me. That game sells, even in America, which soccer is not a mainstay sport. It's not. I think freaking women's badminton has a higher, viewership than soccer does here. So, but in Europe and pretty much every country but America, football is huge. EA definitely doesn't want to lose that, because if they take out the FIFA, that is going to cost EA in the long run too. But it's not going to cost them near as much as it's going to cost FIFA. It really isn't. I cannot see that. FIFA probably gets a percentage as well from these game sales. So, it's a no-win situation for FIFA trying to go this high. Unless they've got a backup plan with like Konami or Ubisoft or somebody to, create a new sports franchise with the FIFA name through their companies. And there's other game developers that could make these games, sure, but they're not EA Sports. It's in the box. So I think EA is got FIFA by the balls, pun intended. I think FIFA it's a greedy thing they're trying to go for. I think them making those $1 billion plans and them counting on EA for 300 million a year or whatever that comes out to, that's a dumbass move. Somebody's going to get fired because it's going to bite them on the butt. And I'm kind of excited to see how it works out, really. I like train wreck, so I'm kind of excited to see how this all pans out. EA will get hurt a little bit, but nothing like FIFA will. FIFA, unless they have backup plans, they're really hurting themselves. So let's watch this train hit the car. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, like I said, I think a lot of this came out of the woodwork because the EA had filed for 2 new trademark registrations earlier in October here. I couldn't find the exact dates, but in the European Union and Britain, they basically trademarked the phrase EA Sports F.C. So I'm assuming that's EA Sports Football Club. So they're planning for an exodus of the FIFA name, and I don't think it's going to hurt them as much. Everybody knows the FIFA soccer game is EA. Everybody knows that. And if they take that and move it to another franchise, there's a reason other franchises that aren't using the FIFA World Cup stuff aren't as popular. And it has nothing to do with the FIFA World Cup, in my opinion. It has to do with the gameplay and stuff like that. I'm not a sports game fan, but I remember back in the day playing the EA sports games, and they've basically taken a departure from what I remember sports game being. I remember playing like Madden and all that stuff, and it's just like you pick a game, you play 2 teams against each other, you pick the team you want to do, and you play with the roster. These games have turned into create your own team. It's basically an RPG for jocks, if you will. You build your teams, you put them through the ringer, you put them through training, you play manager, you do this. Those games have changed, and that's all EA's doing. And so if you pull that, people are going to know that EA is soccer. I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not a soccer fan. I don't know the fervent of what FIFA brings to the market, but I don't think this is going to hurt EA as bad as it's going to hurt FIFA. They're going to have a hard time making up that $150 million a year. Because they've made billions of dollars off of EA in this partnership. Billions. I'm not talking millions, billions with a B. And now they're going to throw it away because they think they can go to Epic and all these other people and bring in $150 million for their licensing. Not unless they piecemeal it out. And they don't have control over that because all FIFA has control over is the namesake, the logo, the trophies, all that kind of stuff related to the FIFA World Cup. So it'll be interesting to see. And not just like Shane, nobody can look away from a train wreck. So it's kind of both of these people are being idiots, but I think FIFA's being the bigger idiot here.
Yep. FIFA is pulling a Nintendo. They're doubling up their price and are not giving anything for it. So that's pretty shitty. But, it's amazing how people can just decide, we're going to raise our price double. We're going to go from, 150 million to 300 million, $30 to $70. It's like, I mean, I understand inflation, but that's just inflection. I mean, that's just stupid the way these people are doing this stuff. And FIFA's greed is just out there because if they're making plans on things that aren't, set in stone and signed and all that, that's a dumbass move. I mean, you don't buy a car if you ain't got a job, and that's what they're doing.
Right. Yeah. Because what I've read is that is all the FIFA gives them. I mean, they have agreements with like UEFA for player leagues and teams and jerseys and likenesses, and also with like FIFA Pro is another one. It's a global players union over there. So the FIFA namesake, trophy, logo, all that stuff for $150 million. You guys are already making bank, and now you're like, we want more of the pie, and EA saying no. I don't know if FIFA will let this happen. In my opinion, if I was FIFA, if I was EA, I'd be like, we're renegotiating. We'll only stay in the pool for $100 million now a year, and watch FIFA be like, fuck. That's what I would watch them do. Be like, you guys wanted to tip the tables on us. Well, we don't need you guys. We've already registered that we're going to be football club. We've got all these licensing. Instead of you getting your, what is it, $450 million or they're $600 million every 4 years, they want $1 billion. EA's gonna be like, how about we just give you $400 million instead of 600? Fair play and all. I don't like EA. I would like for them to lose this, but I don't know if they will. Just because I want to see EA take a little hit in the wallet, but they won't take a big enough to hurt them. It's like us spitting in a bucket. That's about how much money they lost on this deal.
Yep, I would love to see a EA, just take a turd to the chin on this, but really they are in the. I won't say they're in the right, but they're in the more justifiable end of this, of saying "kiss my ass." So that's ridiculous. So, I don't know.
Nick,
what about you? Well, how do you feel? Do you think what side are you rooting for there, buddy?
Nobody.
Nobody.
I'm not rooting for anyone. Yeah, I mean, if FIFA left EA and like Patrick said, they would have to either piecemeal it out, because the only developer or publisher that I could think of that would even get remotely close to possibly taking the license over would be Activision. I mean, those are the two biggest publishers we have out there, especially for the money they're looking for, is what I mean. I don't know if other publishers would want to, you got Rockstar and stuff, and they make a lot of money, but I don't think they come close to what Activision and EA make. So, yeah, that would be the only thing that, if for the money they're wanting, that would be the only person. I don't even think EA would take it. They'd probably be like, nah, or I mean, Activision, they'd be like, nah, we got our own stuff. We're good.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if Konami was smart, they would use this opportunity to get that FIFA name on their PES. series. I mean, that would be beneficial to them. But I don't see Konami dropping that kind of money. Konami got bank. Konami got an ass ton of bank. But I don't see Konami making that kind of a deal with him either, because it's a really bad deal. I mean, just maybe 175. If they went up 25 mil, I can understand it, because $25 million is a lot of money. But I hate to say it, but EA is on the winning side of this, and they need to use it to their advantage. I mean, business wise, that's definitely use it to their advantage.
Well, let's just put it in perspective. Konami's net worth $5 billion. EA's net worth $38.8 billion. Konami ain't buying and giving them anywhere near the money that EA is.
Oh, no. But if Konami could get that name, the FIFA, under their belt, that's going to be a big boon to FIFA.
I don't think so.
To EA. I mean, goddamn. To Konami, because that name carries weight. I mean, you understand how big soccer, football is in the world, not in America, but in the world. How many times you see a stadium collapse because of all the assholes that had a soccer game?
Right, but that's
stampede to death because
that's the sporting event, though. I mean, we're talking about the video game. Everybody knows that it's EA that's developed this awesome game. Who do you think's
playing those games, though? It's those sports, those FIFA lovers. It's not a guy who just likes sports games. I mean, how many Madden players you think running around? How many Madden players you think running around and go, "Oh man, I got to get to do FIFA"?
No, but what I'm saying is that people that want to play football games go to EA. They don't go to any of these other ones. People that play soccer games can go to Konami already. They can get, what is it, PES, Pro Evolution? Yeah. That's a garbage game compared to EA's FIFA. It has nothing to do with the name. It's gameplay and everything. I mean,
see, I can't say I don't know anything. Like Google up the last review for the last PES. I mean, I don't know what their games are like because I don't play soccer. But people play NFL on EA's NFL games, Madden, because it's Madden. Now, if they lost a Madden title license, which I think they pretty much have Madden locked in a basement somewhere. Somebody else take that. That is going to give that other person some cred because they have the name. People are name bias. I mean, you have people that won't buy an Android because it's not iPhone. That's not a quality thing. It's a name thing. People that won't buy certain shoes or certain cereals because it's not name brand. You can go and get freaking honeycomb knockoffs for half the price, twice the taste, but it's not the same brand. People like a name.
PS 2021 sold less than 1/3 of the amount of copies that FIFA sold. I don't think Konami getting the name FIFA is going to matter. People,
what did they get on their reviews though? I mean, what kind of game was it?
7 out of 10.
Okay,
that's what the last one
FIFA game get.
FIFA 21.
If I remember right, the last FIFA is like all buggy and people's eyeballs are like falling out and shit in the middle.
8 out of 10. So it's getting higher. It's getting 8 out of 10.
Not much better, but better.
Right. But I think a lot more people associate soccer with EA than they do with PES, in my opinion.
And that might be the case, but
here's a perfect example. I never even heard of PES until you just mentioned I had to Google it. But I heard of FIFA 21, and I don't ever play any of those damn sports games. So that should tell you how prevalent it is. A non-sports gamer like me never heard of PES. But I heard of FIFA because it's EA, but I don't like EA. But FIFA is advertised like crazy over here in the U.S.
And Nick, you know PES, so I mean, and you don't play the damn game either. So I think a lot of it is, Nick knows Konami though. Nick is a Konami fan, so he knows their business and the games they put out. So, and that might be one thing, but I truly believe name has meaning.
The problem with PES, as well as what I looked at, is their next game is no longer going to be called PES. It's just going to be called eFootball, and it's free to play. So clearly their PES games are not going in the direction Konami wanted.
Yep. Or they're trying to milk the bandwagon of free to play and you buy pretty shit. I mean, of course they are. That's definitely, up on that table too. And that's happening with
But I don't think I would have to agree with Patrick. Konami is not even going to come close to purchasing anything.
Well,
from FIFA.
yeah, because
no, and I'm not saying they are. I'm just theorizing if they were smart, and EA or excuse me, FIFA, takes that turn across the chin, and they're needing that title out there. Any other developers could really hold the candle to their feet on it. So that's all I'm getting at. And the FIFA name does carry weight. It's not EA though. I mean, they'll never replace EA FIFA.
Well, I just honestly, I mean, we'll see, right? If they lose it, we're going to be seeing, EA Sports FC 2023, and then we'll see Konami's PES FIFA or Konami FIFA 2023. We'll see. I guarantee you, we're not going to see a huge dip from that 111 million copies to up to EA's almost 400 million copies.
Yeah, there will be a dip, but there won't be that much of one. I mean,
I don't
probably
think there'll be
barely
a
make a
dip.
blip. But you're forgetting Nintendo could just buy it all up and say, hey, we got Mario FIFA 2022.
We're going to sell it for a premium. $70
It would just
a pop.
be Mario Soccer, but with a FIFA logo in there.
FIFA name on it, yeah. They'll have a little
Mario,
FIFA logo.
It's going to be like Mario does FIFA. Instead of Debbie does Dallas, it's Mario does FIFA.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens to this. I can't wait for the train and the car to become one. It's going to be a disaster for somebody, and we all know it's pretty much going to be FIFA. So, sorry, soccer fans, but FIFA is FUBAR.
Well, it'll still be there. Somebody will get licensing for it. They're just not going to get there what they want. So, I mean, it's a lose-lose situation, I guess. If you're a FIFA fan and you're going to be spoiled on EA, or if you're an EA fan, you're going to be spoiled on the FIFA leaving, then it's a lose-lose for you. To me, it doesn't matter one way or the other, but I'm with Shane. I'm just watching the train wreck. Just driving by, rubbernecking.
Yep, and then you rear end somebody.
It's a big wreck.
Yep. I'm out of talking points on this. I can't believe I talked so much on a dang sports game, and I don't like sports games.
Yeah, this is definitely, we covered the gamut from sports to business to bullshit. So I think we pretty much made a circle. And we're back.
All right. Yep. All right. Anybody else got anything they want to drop on this one?
Don't mention drop because we got to wrap this thing up.
Yep. Because FIFA's dropping their balls.
That's right. Dropping them out of the net.
Yep.
They missed the net. Yep. All right. Well, let us know what you think. Do you think that EA is going to be hurt by losing FIFA? Do you think it's going to be a boon if Konami can pick up FIFA? Let us know. I mean, because it's always been, from what I understand in this short little article I read just a few seconds ago, because I never heard of PES soccer, was that it's a rivalry. They've had a rivalry for years. So let us know what you think. Is it really a rivalry? Do you think that Konami is going to take the trophy away from EA if they get the FIFA title? I don't even know if Konami knows about this or if they're even caring that EA is losing it. We're just all making up bullshit as we go along. So it's sports games. All right. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we hope to catch you in the next one.
See ya.